Raleigh, did you have any regrets over this outcome in regards to anything that you did in the ring?
When somebody else does this, it's a masterclass. When I do it, it's self-explanatory, right?
Bro, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, good morning to all my boxing hardcores. Y'all just heard Rolly Romero basically say that he had the same performance as Shakur Stevenson. I told y'all that the man thought he was Shakur Stevenson in there and that he thought he was doing Shakur Stevenson like work. Teofimo Lopez completely outskilled, outgunned, had more ring generalship, more ring control throughout that whole fight with Rolly Romero. And y'all just heard the man say, it's funny because when people do that to Teofimo Lopez, it's a masterclass performance. But when I do it, it's self-explanatory. Who are you trying to fool? Rolly Romero. Whether or not you think you did enough in that fight to win, which I completely disagree with. I only gave you 2 clear rounds. I literally only gave you the first round, round 5. And if you want to look for another round, you can. I had a 117-111 scorecard, 9 rounds to 3. That 114-114 scorecard, even 115-113. Get the hell out of here, bro. Raleigh, guess what? Guess what got released? The Compubox stats. This man thought he was doing Shakur Stevenson-like work in there because the man says, oh, that's funny because when other fighters do this, it's a masterclass, but when I do it, it's self-explanatory. Well, let's take a look at the numbers. Let's look at what Shakur Stevenson did against Teofimo Lopez to start this off, ladies and gentlemen. As you see here, Teofimo Lopez was completely outgunned against Shakur Stevenson, got outlanded in every department of the fight, not to include the ring control. Shakur Stevenson had absolute ring control against Teofimo Lopez, who laid a dud. Ladies and gentlemen, Shakur Stevenson outgunned the dude, outlanded him. The Compubox stats don't lie, okay? Yes, I know they don't always tell the full story of the fight, but they do here, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the Compubox stats for Rolly Romero's performance against Teofimo Lopez. I truly believe Rolly was in a delusional state. I do. His trainer was trying to get to him, trying to talk to him, trying to snap him. Hey, bro, pay attention to me. Rolly Romero, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I know he was thinking he was having a Shakur Stevenson-like performance in there. But dude, look at these stats. You got outlanded by Teofimo Lopez in every goddamn department, bro. The jabs, the power punches, the body shots, not to include a ring generalship. Teofimo Lopez had you backing up the whole goddamn fight. Raleigh, you said you should be fighting at 154, not 147 pounds, because it's hard for you to make this weight class. You're a big dude. Teofimo Lopez was moving up to 147 the first time in his career, and it was you who was moving back. You thought you were doing better work than you were actually doing. You got outlanded the majority of this fight. Ladies and gentlemen, he got outskilled, outgunned in every goddamn department of this fight. When you compare the Compubox stats to Shakur Stevenson's performance against Teofimo Lopez, and y'all know my stats of Shakur Stevenson. Y'all know I've been going off on Shakur and Keyshawn Davis. After all this, Devin Haney drama's been going down. But I speak facts here, bro. Shakur had a completely dominant, way more dominant performance against Teofimo Lopez than what you did. Look at the stats, bro. He outlanded Teofimo Lopez in every department of that fight. Raleigh, did you outland Teofimo Lopez in every department of the fight? No. You cut Teofimo Lopez in round 5, had a lot of success in round 5, but didn't end up bouncing back after that. Round 6, round 7, yes, he caught Teofimo Lopez in the last second of round 7, but Teo came back out in round 6 and round 7 and completely stole those rounds. And in my opinion, completely stole the rest of the rounds. I told you, bro, I only gave this man, look, I got a scorecard of 117, 111, 9 rounds to 3. You got to find that third round somewhere in there. But personally, 2 rounds were clearly Rolly Romero's. The rest of that fight, he got outgunned. He wasn't throwing enough. His trainer was telling him, wake up, bro. This isn't a Hall of Fame performance. The dude was pulling back the whole goddamn time, leaving his body exposed. The body work that Teofimo Lopez was absolutely fantastic. The jabs to the body, the right hands over the top. Tio was in control of that ring the whole goddamn fight, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know who Rolly Romero is trying to fool here. I don't know how this man could possibly think he's being robbed because of who he is. Ladies and gentlemen, he exactly says when somebody else does that type of work to Teofimo Lopez, it's a masterclass, Shakur Stevenson. But when I do it, it's self-explanatory. It is self-explanatory. We can see with our own goddamn eyes what's happening in that ring. Raleigh, not a single person out there thought you won that fight. Not a single person out there believes it should have been a draw. Even the 115, 113 scorecard. The stats don't always tell the full story of the fight. But in this case, they do. Teofimo Lopez outlanded you in every department. How are you going to argue with the stats? How? Tell me. How are you going to argue with Compubox stats to say that you won that fight? When you are the champion, yes, you are supposed to get the benefit of the doubt. At least that's what we know in the history of boxing. But not when the champions are backing up the whole time and not landing nothing. What do you think you are, Mayweather? You thought you were Shakur in there? Bruh, your jab was non-existent. What kind of jab was that? Your trainer was like, bruh, give me a freaking hard jab. Give me something. Raleigh was in a delusional state, bro. I truly believe that. He wasn't thinking straight. And that completely destroys the narrative that this man did enough to win that fight, that the judges got it wrong on the scorecards. No, bro. Look at the stats. You didn't land as much punches as you thought you did. You thought the way that that fight was going, you thought you were having success. You thought you were Slick Rick in there. Yet you were getting out punched, you were getting out jabbed, you were getting out body shotted, you were getting out power punches landed. Bro, Tio landed more power punches than you, bruh. The left side of your body, it looked like it was getting red as hell. Ladies and gentlemen, and I know I watched that post-press conference, of course. He said, oh, look at my side, it's not even red. Ladies and gentlemen, get the hell out of here. Raleigh, you clearly lost that fight. And if you don't, go ahead and go take a look at the stats. Rewatch that fight and tell yourself, did I do enough to win that fight? No. Ladies and gentlemen, Teofimo Lopez completely outskilled the man. They try to rob this fool with 114 and 114 scorecard. That is delusion. Straight up delusion. And the people that are arguing that Rolly Romero won that fight or deserved to be a draw, y'all just haters, bro. Y'all just want to hate on Teofimo Lopez. Y'all just want to clap at this fool. Y'all aren't being real, man. For real. 2 completely different fights. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez compared to Rolly Romero and Teofimo Lopez. Rolly Romero has no right at all to be acting like the fans or the judges are going against him just because his name is Rolly Romero and that's who he is. That has nothing to do with those scorecards. Teofimo Lopez, although it wasn't an exciting, it wasn't a blockbuster or, a action-packed fight, he did enough to win all those rounds. He did enough to win with the jab, going to the body. Rolly, you were not letting your hands go, and your trainer knows it as well. That's a delusional take by Rolly Romero. I told y'all he thought he was Shakur in there. I told y'all, bro. I said it yesterday. This fool thought he was doing Shakur Stevenson-like work in there. Yet, it was the complete opposite, ladies and gentlemen. A narrative destroyed by your boy, the MMA Boxing Addicts channel. Look at the stats. That's all you got to do, bro. You go watch the fight, rewatch it. Look at how many punches Rolly Romero landed on Teofimo Lopez. Look who had the ring generalship. Look who had ring control more than Rolly Romero, who claims to be the bigger guy, who was the champion. The champion was getting outworked. The champion was on his back foot. The champion got outsmarted by the better boxer in Teofimo Lopez. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to let me know in the comments what you guys think. How did you guys assess this fight? Does Rolly Romero have an argument here? Should it have been a draw? Did Rolly Romero win that fight? Do you believe he did enough in every single round to win these rounds and walk away as the winner? I don't. And I believe that's the truth, man. I want y'all to let me know in the comments what you guys think, though. The Compubox stats are at. Go check them out for yourself. Go compare them to the Shakur Stevenson fight, ladies and gentlemen, and let me know what you guys think. I'm out.